Hello again and welcome to Ndudu Fafa.
Family, thank you again for tuning in for another exciting episode with Fafa. Now, this dish is definitely inspired by the Eweland. A good friend of mine visited Ghana recently and started teasing me with views, And there's one thing you'll find in the Volta region, definitely, which will be the sea, coconut trees, onions as well. So that sort of heritage, you can just tell, is a signature of mine throughout the dishes that I make. And on this particular day, he also sent me a video of, him and his family enjoying Abobi Tadi and some hot akpala. I had to replicate that. No, I had to, I had to go there with it. Now, I'm talking about the akpala. There are different versions, and I've got the amokpala that I have done. Yes, and I did it with a little twist. I'll leave a link in the description box so you can try your hands on it. Now, the main ingredient here is the anchovies, and you can definitely tell where my inspiration comes from when I've made that anchovy blend. Yes, it's the heritage written all over it. So now let's start my version of Abobi Tadi. So let's go through the list of ingredients. So starting from the left, I've got my cold pressed coconut oil, onions, ginger, tomatoes, the anchovies, of course, garlic, my chilies, and I've also got my Koobi blend. So yes, this is going to be a great infusion. Now, when you do get your anchovies, it might have the heads in there. Best to take the heads out, and using the scissors as well, just take the belly part out because it tends to be bitter. So I always do this process before I use it for my blends. And so now I'm reserving this, and I'm going to add everything else apart from the abobi itself or the anchovies to my clay bowl with internal ridges, locally known as vagba or asanka. And to that, I've added my moringa chili salt and also some Koobi blend. And now I've got to activate my core, my bicep, and dream of the airland and all the amazing ingredients that it does have. If you are lucky enough to own one of the Vagba or Asanka, then yes, when you're using it, it's best to place a towel at the bottom, and that keeps it sturdier, so it allows for an easy grind. Now, also, if you do find that some of the ingredients are a little bit tougher, you can use the tip of the wooden pestle to soften that beauty. And yet again, that makes it for an easier grind. And at this point, you can dream the dreams that you want to dream. Yes, because, the end result is definitely worth the hassle. And then again, you might contemplate in placing this in a food processor to make your life much easier. But sometimes we have to go through that traditional route. Yes, it might be time tasking, but you know what? It's worth it, may I say. And this is coming on strong, yes, because I'm not giving up. I'm determined to make this. All because yes, that friend sent me that video and I had to pay homage to my heritage. So now here we go. Are you inspired to try this recipe? If you are, leave your comments below. This beautiful, fresh, spicy salsa is affectionately known as raw pepper. So if you meet a Ghanian that says, I'm going to be having some raw pepper, it's not just the chilies. You now have a great understanding that yes, it's flavor packed. Now here I've got my dried anchovies that I've placed in a bowl with the heads off, obviously. And now I'm going to be adding some ice cold water. I want to give this a rinse, but I don't want to lose the flavor. So that's imperative that you use your ice cold water and just give it a brief rinse. Yes, you don't want to be soaking this for too long because of course that infusion of the flavors or dissipation of that flavor is going to happen. We don't want that. Now, anyway, once I've got that, I've placed that in my frying pan, and to that I'm adding my cold-pressed organic coconut oil. So if you remember at the beginning of the video, I did mention that in the Airwayland you will definitely find coconut trees. So yes, the coconut oil had to represent. And now I'm just going to be frying this on that medium heat until, of course, the coconut oil melts and infuses into the anchovies. Now, that's a match made in heaven, that flavor. Coconut and anchovies, oh, you need to try it if you've never done that before. So yes, this will take about 3 minutes. And then of course I'm going to be adding my onions because of course I mentioned you will find lots of onions in the Everland as well. So yet again, I will fry this gently for about 3 to 4 minutes just to allow that flavors to go through. Now you notice that I've not added salt to this because there's no need for it because anchovies in its own nature is salty. And of course, I've already added a bit of my salt to my raw pepper. Yes. So we just dry frying this beautifully and it's almost done. Now, if you do like what you're seeing, please give it a thumbs up, share with your family and friends. And at this point, of course, I'm also adding some green chilies that, I had in the freezer. So that's just going to melt it, add that aromatic kick to the anchovies. This is not any other food. This is Ndudu by Fafa. Look at that flavor, that infusion. This would work really well as a pizza topping. Yes, absolutely. So at this point, this is ready. And I now need to add my anchovies to it. But of course, I've got some tomatoes there. Now, the amount of chilies that you use to make your raw pepper should be to your own personal preference. Others like really, really spicy. But because, of course, I did use ginger as well, that also allows me to reduce the amount of chilies that I've used. But that's my personal preference. You can add, omit, and do whatever the... Yes, anyway, moving on swiftly. What I love about this dish is once you do add the anchovies to your raw pepper, the anchovy soaks in that juice of the raw pepper, and I love that. So I've got my amokula just in that corner. You know that it went down a treat. And also the next day I just enjoyed it just on its own, just like that, just picking. That was just flavor in the mouth. And in my previous video, I did share the roast red pepper abomu recipe, which is synonymous or inspired by the Ashantis because they make the abomu. And of course, I've shared the Eweland version as well. So, thank you, Ghana, for inspiring almost everything that I do. Because the flavors, I love the fact that I'm able to interpret our flavors, our heritage, and yes, without it, I won't be where I am. So yes, kudos, Ghana. Yenara assassini eyabodi ni mayan mujana na no shegu and so. Anyway, moving on, you will find my all natural spice blends and seasonings on buyndudu.com, which is just packed with my heritage, absolutely, and flavors. And it makes for an easier cooking experience. So if you want that West African flavor in your mouth, yes, grab a bottle or two. And yes, you will find traditional African recipes on my blog, ndudubyfafa.blogspot.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Ndudu by Fafa. So pass by and say hi. Noel, thank you very much for my theme song. And until my next recipe with you, kings and queens, which is actually an incredible one, you do not want to miss it. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, like the video, share with your family and friends, and also activate your notifications to all. So each time I upload a video, you are notified of it. To all my returning subscribers, thank you ever so much. You appreciate it. Love you, notification gang. Hope you all doing well. And until then, I'll see you kings and queens in my next video. Take care of you. Be nice, be beautiful, be gorgeous. Yes. And guess what? I love you for you. Thank you very much for watching. Toodles.